Hey, welcome to Spirit Music Meetups. Mike Burris here. This document is really tough. Tuplets, artificial notation, threes, fives, sixes. Twos can be tuplets, and depending on the time signature. So it can really get complicated. So I created this document to, understand it myself. And because people come up with strange ways to count these things. So I'm trying to find a better way to count them. And so this will explain this, subdividing a beat into different pieces and finding a way to count them. So I like to count, quarter notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and right 1 and. But then if you divide that 1 e 2, how do you divide it into 3 instead of 1 and? You can't count it 1 e and because that's 4. So you could count 1 e 2 e triplet 1 triplet 2 triplet or 1 da da 2 da da. You could count those 1 e 2 e. The e's and us are not exactly the same as 1 e and a. So, I came up with this other called, 1 da ta, 1 da ta, 2 da ta, 3 da ta, 4 da ta, a da and a ta. So, I've tried many different things here. You could say 1 da da, but then you wouldn't know which one you were talking about. So I call it 1 da ta, 1 da da ta, 1 da da, 2 da ta, 3 da ta. And so what happens when you subdivide 1 da da, and da da, subdividing the 8th note into 16ths. 1 da da, 3 16ths, and da da. You could say 1 da ta and da ta, 2 da ta and da ta. So you could, again, know what the things are. So you might want to read this. This is get you really thinking about how to possibly count these things and how it all fits together. Because when you subdivide an 8th note triplet and 16th note triplets, each of those 8th note triplets becomes 16ths. 1 da, 1 da ta. Well, the 1 gets broken into 2 16ths. 1 what? 1 da. If you say 1 da, so then it'd be 1 da da. 1 da da. That's confusing. So maybe it's 1 t da. So it's been a while since I did this. I want to go back through it and see if it's. But maybe you can learn something from it that will help you learn how to play tuplets. Maybe you can do that. Odd numbers, 3s, 5s. Yeah, I like to do 1 da 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 da, 1 da ta da ta da ta. So I can hear 1 da ta da 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 da, 1 da 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 da. I see da ta, but it's dot. I just say da da. 1 da da, 1 di ta di ta di ta, 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 2 di ta di ta di ta, 3 di ta di ta di ta. So 3 groups of 2, right, is 6 plus the 1 is 7. So that gives me a 7, a septuplet. So that's what that's about. You can see that under number 5. 1 dt and dt, 2 dt and dt. So that's how you subdivide into 6. 1 and 1 dt and dt, 1 dt and dt, 2 dt and dt. So that I wrote that out, and that explains that. So you can look through that. And then counting duplets, that's 2s, that's tough, when normally there would be 3s. So I gave a whole section on how to do that. Counting triplets, when normally you count 1 and. And we just did that. 1 dt, 2 dt, 1 dt and dt. And so there's some great examples on how to do that. That's common. And how to count quarter note triplets. I count eighth note triplets. 1 d t 2. Yeah, 1 dt, 1 dt, 2 dt. So I say 1 d 2, 1 dt 2 dt. So it's like every other 1 d t2 d2 dta. 1 d, say dt. So it's easier to see than say. A lot of these things you feel after a while. You play 1 and 1 e 2 e. I set a metronome. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 d da 2 d da 3 d da 4 d da 1 and 2 d da 3 and 4 d da 1. I slur my voice. 1 d da. I slur my voice out, and it makes it smooth to make it 3. 1 and 2 and 3 d da 4 d da 1 and 2 d da 3. However you want to count it, that seems to help for me. Then it talks about how to count quadruplets, 4s, very complicated, and 5s. So this document can be very helpful to try to count tuplets. And not a lot of students face these tuplet situations, but you will in college. They'll throw everything at you. So this is just another option to understand counting tuplets. And thank goodness I don't have to do that very often. If you have some better ideas on how to count tuplets, please put them down in the counting section. That would be helpful for myself. Maybe there's something I have never thought of. That'd be great. I don't encounter that very much. I appreciate it, and it'll help my students, help students all over the world try to get a grip on how to count tuplets. It's very important when you're seeing contemporary music. It's very important to be able to do that. And as well in pentuplets, polyrhythms. Polyrhythms are combining all these strange rhythms together. Thank you very much for your time.